Hello guys, welcome to the channel again. Today we're gonna do the mounting the machine as we last time we had the mounting. So we put a part, so everything what the parts of the machine and everything which is the components, no? And what they do and what they are for. So today's videos we're gonna assemble the machine again. So we're gonna put the machine together. So here we have all the parts which is still open from the machine and some tools. So basically you need this sensor, this little tool here, which is is just to center the armature bar, which is this guy. Yeah, so goes here and that centers the part. Very important part to be 100% aligned, so the whole thing works perfectly in the same line. When you put the armature bar and if the needle bar, sorry, on the armature bar, so the correct course is straight. No? So it's very important too. The applier, well, sometimes you need a plier just to hold one bolt or just to bend a bit of the spring and so that's why a plier. I have a little set of L-key, which is different sizes and different things. Well, basically just need two for this machine, don't need much of it, but it's nice to have different sizes and different, you know, so I have different ones. So we start always with the coils, right? So to assemble the machine again, you need to put the coils back. So I don't put any extra washers on that because I just need to make sure that is in place first. When everything is assembled, then you can adjust the height of the coils. I will get to that. Then you guys can check it out. It's very important the machine has the right the coils to be in the right height and on the right ways aligned as well. Otherwise, the machine doesn't work correctly. Again, as I said, don't do this. Well, actually, it was not just. Feels like it was tight, but it's not. Here I have some extra parts still on the chassis. Make sure the chassis is 100% clean, out of residues of ink or rust or anything. Obviously, old school machines in this case, they are made of metal, some sort of a metal, casted metal or some sort of that. And if they are not, how you say, cured properly when they're made, they definitely would rust. So in this case here, this builder, he put a bit of like a layer of color over it, just to give a little bit touch of style. And well, this machine has less likely to have rust. So it's a good machine to keep it. You can clean nicely, easily than normal machine when they're more rustic, right? And so, but the base of the machine, this part here has no color whatsoever because that's where this sits the coils, and they have to be 100% contacted. Okay. So again, this is another part very important. So here you have the way the wires, so the machine, the coils are right inside, so it's right in this direction. So this is an 8 wrap coil, generally used for lining, fast lining, and maybe like middle group lining. We're gonna get to that. And so you see the capacitor is a pretty small one, as I said in the previous video. It's pretty small because we want the machine to be fast, so it runs very fast, right? Nowadays, why I'm talking about old machines, old school machines, because I believe that, okay, you can buy a proper brand new rotary machine or pen, whatsoever, what is work best for you, of course, but it's always nice to have a little bit knowledge about the old, what was before, right? So I'm thinking like what we had 10 years ago, 20 years ago, and so on. 20 years ago, I would never expect to have a pen in my hand, work with a pen, which now I even have the newer thing I introduced to my work set is as two little batteries, which is in these batteries you have also the power supply. Basically, the battery can adjust the voltage of the machine on the little device, which is fantastic. And I really love it right now. Actually, I mocked a friend of mine who had this similar thing. He had this power battery thing, but then he had to have an extra power supply with a dock and everything to work. And I always made fun of him, and I always told him that yeah, this thing doesn't work, blah blah blah, mocking him all the time, and taking all my old school shit around. And now I'm caught on it. So yeah, thank you, my friend. You made me like it. So, anyways, there we go. So this is always the longest cable going to the front. Then you have the shorter one, which is to the back. Okay, you cannot make it the other way around, also because it would not be long enough to touch the top part of the contact, right? Also, the way this capacitor sits in the coil is the connection is very important. Here we cannot see it because it's already isolated, so we cannot look at it. But pardon me. But yeah, it's very important. And we'll get to that at some point. We make a short video in what's the importance and how to set what goes up and what goes down. Okay, so then here, so starting the assembling is, so you look for two long screws, which is for the coils, because the coil has a very long screw thread inside, so you can actually just hold one. Try to not flick around too much with the other, because these little wires they're very sensitive. Actually, they're very sensitive guys. So you shouldn't be careful to not mess them out too much with them. They break. If they break inside, you have to be a hell of an engineer to open a coil and rewire it. I can do it. I mean, I know a lot of people can do it, but it's a tons of work. So try to avoid that kind of job. It's a dirty job. You're not gonna like to do that. Okay, this guy be here, I think. 1 second. I think this guy is the one goes in the bottom. Yeah, this is the one. So here we go. Another thing, guys, please never tight the screws. First, when you assemble the machine, leave everything loose, like tight enough that they don't have the bouncing around and can break, but not don't tie too much. Okay, don't make them to rush them off, because otherwise you're gonna break the part. Okay, let's see this guy here if it works. If this here, nope. Yeah, great. I made it. So it must be done. So here we go. Things I changed things around here last time, because the thing is, this guy is a bit. Yeah, it has this special thing here. He built it. So okay, that works. Yep, it works good. And here we go. So this is important to be here. So this back contact has to be there. And then it sits in here between this small bolt and this screw, so that like this. Okay, so you see here everything is nice and tight, sit together. So you see they go together now. Okay, if you see here, my coil is still a little loose, which is important. Okay, so then the next step for this is this video. I don't really understand why he did this way, but yeah, well, it is, you know, it's a bit silly, to be honest. Always use a washer between your contacts and your thing, so that keeps better the tightness. Yeah. Okay. Okay. The screw is pretty short for some reason. Doesn't make a big deal for me. Tack. I think I just need to change some screw here. Or I could reduce one screw, of course. We don't need that whole thing. This is just cosmetics. So let's make straightforward, right? Okay, let's pull straight for wood. Cosmetics for beauty. You know I'm not beautiful, guys, so let's do this way. Wow, that was a half tight. So here we go. Again, cosmetics, we don't need it. So here you go. Now you see here sits the coil, the screw again. Maybe I change this guy here. Machines are very personal thing though, so they are really temperamental. They have their days. A better day, a little worse day. But always they have the special days. So be aware of that. Okay, where is the wash again? The washer is here again. Up, here we go. Got it. Okay, and yeah, I really love this machine. So it's something which is for me is really okay. So here we go. Then this is important again to put there. So here, as you can see, you have pretty much all settled. I will tighten slightly because the top one is a bit funny. So okay, that one round, couple tight like that. Okay, works. So here we go. If you see it, it's pretty much. Obviously, I have to work on the height of the coils and the way the coil sits on the chassis, but we come to that later. Here, this is very important. So the front spring sits on the top of the back springs, okay? Don't do the other way around, otherwise you break it. So very straightforward, but very important. Front spring is the short one, which has this narrow edge to the ends. Some of them is a bit more narrow, some are less narrow, but they are pretty much narrow. They are never square or like more like a long spring like this. And then the second one goes underneath of it, so sits like that. Okay, very important. And then this guy goes here on this. I have a little tool which helps to align them, but it's not here. Wow. As we don't have what we need, we do what we can, right? With the way we can. So the old school way, which is on I, which stays fair good. So like that. So basically, you see again, tops, the front spring top, back spring bottom. Okay, and again, don't tighten it up. Don't need to yet, because there's still work to do now. Okay, so let's just screw there. Okay. So now unscrew the back one and put this one in it. Okay. Then here you should use a little bit of a tight, bit more pressure. Okay. Oh yeah, it's pretty high. Then here you have to lose this guy back. So at first instance it looks like that. So see, nothing's aligned, nothing's tight, nothing with nothing. Okay, it's just basic assembly things together now. Okay, and then here you start to put things more, okay, more together. So first of it, I would make sure that my front spring is tight enough with the armature bar, and the armature bar goes. Now I use this little toy which I told you earlier about it. See, and then you tie it. Okay, so that's how it's gonna look like, as if you would have a needle bar there. Okay, very important to keep this guy really settled. So then here with that one, you can actually align the spring, because then you come here, pull your back. In this case, I pull back my spring, my contact way back, because now I made it a little bit tight. I changed slightly setup. No, okay, I lose this guy a little bit. No, too small. Yeah, again, it's very handy to have a different size of L keys. Okay, don't do without it. If you're gonna do anything, always make sure you have the tools for it. Otherwise, you're gonna end up in a very, very frustrating place with a not happy end. Okay, so tools are very important for the trade. Okay. Okay, in this case here, I can lose one thing because it's way too much. I see now. So the washer, on this case here, is not needed. So the inner wash. So just drop it off, open up, put back on. So all these things I'm sharing with you guys is just self taught things, self-learned things, and things I pick up along the way with friends and people I had the pleasure to work with, and learn from doing it as well myself, you know. So unfortunately, back in the day, I didn't have the YouTube or any kind of channel, or any kind of to give me some tips or whatever, and it was really tough. At that time, it was really hard. But now, everybody has something somehow to get the information. So here you go. Basically, that's how it looks like. So now you can slowly start to setting up things, like a tidying up a little bit. So really tiny bit, so you can feel it. Tuck. Don't do this pooey thing, because that would be the destruction of everything. Okay, that's a lot. It's okay. Back one is also very important to not be too much tight. So you just feel it. They start to get rigid. So they start to get heavy. Then you stop. Don't do more than that, because that would be definitely the death sentence for this spring. The back here is the same thing. Oh, there's some solder magnet here. Same thing. But then that's when it comes along the plier. Normally you should put a paper or something to don't harm the bolt, but in my case here, I like things with scars, because scars tells this is the age and tells the story. So I try to always, obviously not damage or destroy it, but if you have a little scratches here and there, shows that it has life, has lived. If you just have something without brand new all the time, lose the value somehow. Okay, so this is the setup from the front contacts, front spring, armature bar, back spring, a back contact, and so everything now is lined. Now lift up the coil, the front coil. So we choose some. This is a bit tricky. I always find it really tricky to put these guys there, because you have to, like a kind of a hunt the little hole to get, because make through both the coil and then go to reach the threads on the coil. So I always try to I kind of squeeze the coil against the chassis like that, and then again, don't tight too much the coil, because also if you don't open often and don't clean, if you just clean with some sort of I wouldn't recommend to do that, but many people do clean the machines with sort of a clean stuff for after tooling, like milliseptal, stuff like that, which you hear in Germany, in England, I don't remember the name of it. These kind of things, obviously they clean, the disinfect and so on, but the problem is the leftovers of it, rusted machine, and because the rusted machine, of course, the screw get tight and stuck on the coils. So many times when you want to open an old tattoo machine, you have to just wipe it off the coil. You have really to cut straight to the screws, and if you don't tie it so much, possibly we always lose. You have to tie it every 100 hours or maybe more. Like just like a tack. But that avoids you a big trouble if one day you need to put a machine apart again. Okay, so this is it for today. We have here a nice little back in shape machine again. As I said, this machine is from 2009 or 2008 actually. Yeah, 2008. Yeah, it's a 2008 machine, so it's pretty old, fair old machine, so it's 10, 12 years old. 12, 13, 13, yeah, 13 years old machine. I have older machines even. And this machine here is, yeah, I mean, I used to slightly, I was from a friend of mine, and you're just collecting things, so you pass over to each other. Okay, so if any questions, anything, just write below. If you like the video, say thumbs up, and yeah, subscribe. It will help with the channel. Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye.